Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Just a Gamer. And well, as you can see, this isn't World of Warcraft, and this isn't my shaman. The reason being is that over the Christmas and New Year's break, or whatever you want to call it, there's just nothing really been going on. I've done a few top runs, and the reality is we'll always get to Lee Shen and just flop. I don't want to do something like I did with Toes, where I just did it on LFR, because that just doesn't really give me a sense of achievement. I have got videos for MSV and Heart of Fear, but I missed the first boss on both of them, so I need to go back in there, redo the first bosses, and then I'll get them videos out to you. I've got so much footage recorded that I just need to actually send out and give to you, so you lot can see. And I have a little bit of a surprise. A little bit of a surprise. A little bit. Anyway, how you doing, guys? Just a gamer here, and this is Smite. Now, I was playing Smite when they first released the beta. This was a while ago now, and I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I really did enjoy it. And it is League of Legends, and World of Warcraft, I suppose. That's probably why I like it. League of Legends, I cannot get into to save my life. I am so bad at League of Legends that I hurt myself because I am so bad at League of Legends, and it is so frustrating. My friends play League of Legends, and I think a few of them are like level 30 on silver, I think, or going on to gold, I don't know, but they are decent League players. And there's me, I've played it a few times, and I logged on the other day, and I just flopped, and I didn't even get a kill, and I think I died like 15 times and got like 2 assists. So I just left and kind of didn't ever really go back to it. But then I remembered, like, oh, Smite isn't a really well-known game at all. So I was just like, oh, right, I've got a few subscribers. I'll just do a video on Smite, because Smite is good. It is a brilliant game. So the reason why I said it was like a League and WoW, from the perspective of first person, like World of Warcraft is, but it is like League, which is fantastic. Because I honestly think the reason why I struggle with League of Legends so much is because I find it difficult to adjust. But then that really confuses me, because then I can play Diablo 3 on Inferno, Monster Power 5. I know that's not great, some people do 10, but if you go on to Monster Power 5 and you haven't even killed Diablo on Inferno, you just oh, that's a lie, I don't play on Monster Power 5 anyway, but that's not the point. It's kind of the same controls as League, in a way. You have to click to where you want to go. And I've never really understood why I struggled so much. But, I was just kind of like, LoL obviously isn't my game. We all have games that we're good at. We all have games that we're bad at. But now, Smite is definitely a game that I can relate to. Not relate to, because it's a game. There's no storyline behind it. But it's something that I can play religiously, and I don't get bored, and I feel like I'm improving every time I play, and that really does make me happy, because that's all you want to get. You want to get that sense of achievement that games give you. I play FIFA quite a lot. I enjoy football. I play FIFA quite a lot, and every time you get a really expensive player on Ultimate Team, you get that sense of achievement that you have managed to get the money to do it. The only time you don't have that sense of achievement is if you're a lucky bastard and you buy packs and you get like 5 informs in 1 week just by opening 7 different packs. If you're one of them people, I don't like you, because it's not fair. Anyway, so back to Smite. Obviously, you can tell it's good, decent gameplay. Now I'm playing at medium graphics. I could go up to higher, but there's no point, considering that medium is good enough to just play as it is, and you don't need to do anything else you don't need higher, really, because especially if your computer can't handle higher and it can handle medium perfectly, there's no point in going into higher whatsoever. It can really disrupt the gameplay. You will see the leveling up. Now you have I suppose the same as League of Legends. You can do it manually or you can do it instantly. I like to do it instantly because it kind of, from what I've learned, it scales with what abilities you use the most. So I think Searing Pain is the number 4. I think the major ability, and I can use that now. Obviously, I won't use it now, but I could use it straight away, and I could use it once more than what I'd use ability number 3. But the Syrian Pain would level up first due to the more usage, which is brilliant. So it kind of, sorry, I'm a bit ill. It kind of gets an idea of how you like to play and what abilities you want, and then it gives you them abilities, which is really good for gameplay, I suppose. I mean, it definitely saves you time. When you have a new ability, you know, I think it's F1, F2, F3, F4 that you have to press. And say if you're fighting someone and you want Searing Pain to pop up, you don't have to do anything, and it's there, and you can just blow it, and it's like, phew. And that's what you need, man. That is what you need. Because Searing Pain is so good. Celestial Beam for Ra is one thing I use a lot. It honestly is. There's nothing that actually really comes close to it, I suppose. The reason why I say that is obviously you have to sit there and aim, but aiming really isn't an issue with instant casting because it's just where you're looking at, and obviously, oh god, I forgot flipping. My mind really isn't with it today. I've had to record this audio about 5 times due to interruptions or me forgetting stuff, and I do apologise, right? But it's a half an hour video, and it's just taking so long to get it done. Anyway, please forgive me for this. But as you can see, my ult there just took out minions straight away, and the Celestial Beam really is something that it's the first move you get, and my god, is it the most overpowered one. Which surprises me, because at the end of the day, as you level up, the abilities get better and better and better. But that's not really the case for this. You can have your best ability at number 1, 2 or 3. The ults really do differ for different whoever you are. I mean, Ra's ult is just awesome. There is nothing. I haven't played anyone that really can just take your health down straight away. So a Celestial Beam and Searing Pain, 1 Celestial Beam, 4 Searing Pain, and 9 times out of 10, the person you're fighting is going to die unless he's a tank. But 9 times out of 10, if you can manage to get all the items that you can buy from the shop and you level up to level 20, this is the max level on this, I know it's 18 for LoL, if you manage to do it, then the damage output is insane. It really is. You really do destroy people. I mean, that was a bad one. I completely mistimed that. But again, guys, I have to apologise. I'm really, really ill. And I just really wanted to get a video done for you guys, and it's been so difficult to get it done over the Christmas break, or something that people might find, what's the word? Might find entertaining to watch. So again, I do apologise. I hope you guys kind of forgive me a bit. But as you can see, just takes his health down straight away. I can't, and yeah, I did manage to kill him. But on the other side of the gaming world, we'll talk about World of Warcraft for a bit. If you have any more questions about Smite, if you want me to do any more videos about Smite, I will sort more videos out. I will go through it. I have a few friends playing Smite now, and I will probably get some nice little co-op videos with us. I will go through tutorial mode. I will go through a lot of the fighting, all the Battleground modes. I can't do ranked yet because I'm not level 30, but that is coming. I mean, on Ra, in the future video, if I do one, you'll see I've got a new skin for him, because I like the Facebook page. Yeah, you have to like the Facebook page, you get free skins. Something I found out as well, quickly, on the shop, when it has, say, like 3 things highlighted, you can go to the top one, press buy, and that buys all of them instead of having to do it one at a time. Um, I don't know why I didn't figure that out straight away, but I really didn't know until I kind of clocked on and was like, oh, I better try this. So I hope you guys don't think that's funny. It just happens. Anyway, World of Warcraft. So New Year, the there was the expansion, Wall of Draenor. It is coming. It is gonna be here sooner rather than later. Hopefully, I say another 6 months maximum. Hopefully, it will be out around summertime. So that means I have, 6 weeks to just power up before I have to do anything. Obviously, I will be going out, but if it's in the summer, it means I have the most time to do things. So I'm praying it's around the 6 month mark from this time. Also, that gives me a lot of time to hopefully try and get Garrosh down. Now that hasn't really went well, I suppose, kind of with the siege progression. Currently at 512 item level, really struggling for drops from bosses, as you do. LFR groups, they really starting to annoy me. They are really useless sometimes. I have nothing against LFR. LFR's fine, as I've said, but the groups I've been getting are so bad. There is just nothing that you can do. There is physically nothing, and it is so frustrating that I'm trying to sit there and gear up my character, and I'm doing 512, and I'm doing 512, yeah, 512 item level, and currently my DPS varies way too much. I'm depending on the boss fight, I can burst for around 180 to 200k, and then all of a sudden it will drop down to 130 to 100k. That's on certain boss fights, and for 512, if I'm averaging between 100 and 130k, that's not really like terrible, because that's only going to improve by the time, if I'm doing between 100 and 130k now, by the time I'd be 560 item level or whatever, there's going to be a big difference. There'll be a big difference in damage. But that's just on certain boss fights. On other boss fights, it will drop down all the way to 70k, and it will just stay around the 70k mark. I was doing a Mercius the other day, and there were people doing 40k in LFR, and I was just about doing 60 on my shaman. And then we went into the council fight, the Golden Lotus council fight, and I was doing around 90k on that, obviously due to the AoE. And then on the Norashen fight, I had the debuff, obviously. As I was one of the lowest DPS, I kind of this was on flex, by the way. I kind of was just like, no, actually, I'll stay out of the portals and let the higher DPS go in. And then, funny enough, I had all this corruption, and I couldn't really do a lot of damage to him, and I still managed to do, what was it, like 60k on him. And then I went to Shah, and we had really bad healers, and we never actually managed to do Shah on flex, which surprises me. Someone personally had a go at me saying I shouldn't be in flex with 512 item level, which I turned around and said, yeah, I know. And he was just like, why are you here then? And I was like, well, I have nothing else to do. Every time I try to do a top run, I always get lunatics who don't really know what to do. So I thought I'd do a flex run, because, flex runs are always going about. He was like, oh. And I was like, well, yeah, exactly. And then we kind of had a little bit of an argument, okay? And eventually it resulted in me just turn around and go, do you know what, okay, fair enough, I'll go. You can replace me with another DPS. I can see your point. It just puzzles me that I'm the only one knowing tactics, and I have to shout them all out to you. But that's fine, honestly. I don't have a clue if they still manage to do it, but that day kind of really kind of made me realise that the World of Warcraft pug community, pug as in like quote marks pug, it's not exactly friendly, which it's kind of disheartening. It really doesn't make me want to try and do that again. I'd rather stick with guilds, but at the end of the day, my guild isn't raiding on a regular basis for my raid team, and obviously, as I mentioned in another video, real life does come into it when on one raid night when I physically can't make it. So it's just kind of like a bit of a sticky. I'm in a bit of a situation at the moment that I'm really trying my hardest to work my way out of. If you guys know anything about shamans, if you're really good with them, please just give me a message and give me your knowledge, what you know. I've been kind of on icy veins a lot, really trying to funnel all this information into my head, and I've kind of got the rotation down to a T. This is the rotation I'm using, and this is what Icy Veins kind of turned around and told me to use. If it's not right, if anyone else has a better opinion, then please, I'm want to take it, because if it means I'm me getting better as a shaman, you can't complain at that. But I basically use it's kind of revolves around Lava Burst. When you get the procs, also Lightning Shield. If you do Lightning Bolts 7 times and it procs, you'll do Earth Shock. That's only when you don't have the Fire Shock. If you have Fire Shock on a boss, and then you do Earth Shock, that's only if you can. Otherwise, you must keep Fire Shock off. And I've got Elemental Blast, and I've seen so many guides where people specialise in different things. It would be Elemental Blast or the one that gives you the empowered elementals. And I really don't know what one to pick, because I will pop my Fire Elemental when Hero and Ascendance is popped. Because I really do pull some numbers when that is popped. And I'm just feeling like, well, at that point when the majority of my damage is pouring through, I'm not using Elemental Blast. However, Elemental Blast is quite good. It'll give me a primary stat for a few seconds. An extra 3,000 mastery or intellect. That's decent, and that could help in a long run fight. But so can the elementals. I mean, the Earth Elemental isn't really something that I've seen in being used a lot as for a DPS, but I've went to the talent where I can use 2 totems, so I always put in down a Searing Totem and an Earth Elemental Totem, due to it's extra damage. And if I kind of went into the Elemental spec, I suppose, not spec, talent, it could do something. It might increase the damage, it might not, but I'm still learning the waves, so it is definitely starting to become a bit of a difficult ride, I suppose, especially with this whole pug life, the pug life. I don't have nothing with pugs. I think people who want to pug raids are perfectly fine. I still pug raid. I've done MSV and Terrence of the Endless Spring heroic on a pug, so. And it's not I've had bad ones, I've had good ones. I know they're not bad. You can make decent groups, but 9 times out of 10 you can only make decent groups if you have some of the best gear going, which that doesn't always really matter. I've met a few people with really high gear, but they're not as good as someone with a lower gear. So it's difficult, I suppose. It really is, to kind of get the balance right of, do we need brilliant gear or do we not? It's really difficult to just try and get that balance right, and that balance is so important to create a good raid. It's just as simple as that. If we don't have the balance, how are you meant to do it? I suppose it is just one of them things, and it just takes so long to kind of get it right, and that is something that I'm always striving to look for, and it really does annoy me when I can't do it, because everyone wants to be that raider. Just a quick thing, as you can probably see, the Fire Giant, I'll come to him at one point, and you can see that he just destroys me, which kind of sucked, because I just wanted to try and kill him. But he's like a group boss on Smite. Anyway, back to WoW. Warlords of Draenor, as I've mentioned, it is coming soon, and you guys have to be excited about it. I don't. It's kind of got a lot of stick, I suppose, and that kind of really has confused me. Why? Why have people kind of insulted it? Because there's nothing wrong with it. It is gonna be insanely good, and people who, I suppose, there's. I don't really want to offend anyone here, so just hear me out before anyone jumps at anything. From my time playing WoW, I have been playing for a while. You'll always come across people that want the game to be how it was in the older days. So you'll have vanilla lovers who want vanilla. You'll have the Burning Crusade lovers. You know, my personal favourite expansion was Wrath of the Lich King, and I played the game a lot. I mean, I loved Wrath of the Lich King, and it was something that I've never. WoW's never been the same, I suppose, since the Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. I played Wrath of the Lich King and the Burning Crusade religiously, and no expansion, should I say, has ever really become the same. It's never become the same. Cataclysm changed too much. I didn't have a problem with the hard heroics because I was getting them done. I was gearing. I was a bit late to the expansion, but I was getting the heroics done, and I know a lot of people didn't like the heroics. I liked the hardness of the first tier of raiding, and sadly, when Firelands came out, I kind of quit for a bit because when my guild went into Firelands, we had a new tank, and the first boss we did was Shanox. And on phase 3, after you've killed the dogs, you have to kill Shanox. And to try, you get the stacks. I can't quite remember off the head, but I'm pretty sure you get stacks. And our tank, instead of turning to face the boss, our tank was turning around, and so the boss was hitting him in the back. So he couldn't dodge or parry or block, or his avoidance just became useless. And so he was just dying pretty quickly. And we were kind of struggling to find out what the problem was. And then we found out it was because of that. And a lot of us just got so annoyed that we didn't play for a while. We eventually did kind of all come back together and kill Ragnaros. Sorry. So we did all come together and kill Ragnaros, but then Dragon Soul came out. I did Dragon Soul LFR, and I just quit the game because I did not enjoy Dragon Soul. It was so boring. Reused models. It wasn't a fun raid. That's just my opinion. You guys can think differently. I have guildies who started in Cataclysm who really enjoyed Dragon Soul. So I kind of came in, Mr. Pandaria. I was late playing this because obviously I took a really long break. I've come back. I kind of wish I saw MSV, Heart of Fear, and Terrors of the Endless Spring when they were new. Because Heart of Fear, no one goes there anymore, and it still can catch you out. And so I do wish that I was kind of started. I had a good go at Throne, I suppose. You know, my guild. We didn't really get that far in my raid team before the buff, before the nerf. Sorry. Once the nerf came in, we cleared 11 out of 12 in one night, which was quite disheartening because that's just like how that just became so easy. And I've never really kind of gotten to the raiding level I was back in Wrath of the Lich King and the Burning Crusade, and that's why I started this series, because hopefully I can show you guys me getting back to that, and that's what I want to do. I just want to raid. I had a good time doing Throne. It was a good raid, to be fair. Siege of Orgrimmar, from what I've done, I haven't done a lot, but from what I've done, it has been an extremely fun raid so far. It really has. I've kind of tried to strive away from LFR as much as I can, and I'm really trying to stick with normal and flex. Anyway, guys, they surrendered, which sucked because we didn't want them to surrender. We would have got more XP if they didn't surrender. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm glad I'm bringing more out, and have a good one. I hope you had a brilliant Christmas and a really happy New Year. Thanks. Please subscribe, share the video, and well, keep gaming. See you later.